It's now time to actually learn. It's now time to actually learn how to form verbs in Latin. And we're going to start with what's perhaps the easiest, that is the present system of the first conjugation. And so remember, the present system refers to the present tense, I am walking, I love, the imperfect, I used to love, or I was loving, and the future, I will love, or I will be loving. And the first conjugation, just to review, is marked by having that ARE in the present active infinitive. The principal parts amo, amare, amavi, amatis. The way really to recognize whether this is first conjugation is that second principal part. And you'll notice that throughout that this A is going to be dominant. So if you want to think of the first conjugation as the A conjugation, you should feel free to go right ahead. Now what we're going to start, is to form the stem from the infinitive. And this stem is going to appear in just about every form of the present active system, the present system that we use of the first conjugation. And the stem is going to be formed from the infinitive by dropping off the RE. Right, so we get woka, or in our verb amo, amare, ama. So this stem is going to be seen in almost every form that we can produce in the present, imperfect, and future. So we're going to take that stem and we're going to add the endings. These are the personal endings. And what I mean by personal endings is that these endings are going to tell us who's doing the action. So O is first person singular, I. S is second person singular, you. T is third person singular, he, she, or it. Mus is first person plural, we. Tis, second person plural, you. And nt, third person plural, they. So we take our stem and add our endings. And this is the basic rule for all verbs. A stem plus endings equals a complete finite verb. The only difference is inside here we can add tense markers, what can be referred to as an infix, to change the tense. So that's the basic system for all Latin verbs. Stem, tense marker, ending. So let's take a look at the present active indicative of the first conjugation. Amo, I love. So amo, we take our stem. This is the one exception. I know I told you to take your stem and add an ending, but in this case, this O and this A are elided, right? Which means that this O swallows the A, and we get amo. Right? Or rather, than elision, it's a contraction. But then we're going to take our stem and add our ending, amas. Amo, amas, amat, right? Stem plus T. So, amo, I love. Amas, you love. Amat, he loves. Or she, or it loves. Amamos, stem plus ending, we love. Amatis, stem plus tis, you plural love. And amant, stem, ending, they love. And we can do this with just about any verb. We can do it with woko, to call. Woko, wokas, wokat, wokamos, wokates, wokant. And what we're doing here when we form all 6 of these forms, first person, second person, third person, singular and plural, is called conjugating. We're conjugating this verb. The imperfect tense. We're going to still take our stem But now we're going to add the tense marker, the infix BA, between the stem and the endings. So let's take a look at this. And one other thing you need to note is that instead of that first person singular O, we're going to use a first person singular M. And you'll actually find that in the course of your study that M is going to be a much more common first person singular ending. So let's take a look at this. We have amabam, I used to love, I was loving. Okay, we take a look, we've got our stem, our tense marker BA, and our ending M telling us who's doing it. So in some ways, if you want to translate, start at the ending. The M says I, the BA says it was, the past tense, imperfect. The ama tells you what they were doing. Amabam, ama, bas, you were loving, and ama, bat, stem, tense marker, ending. Notice the endings are similar to the present tense. And this should actually say the imperfect active indicative first conjugation, right? Not the present. Amabamus. Right, so our stem, our tense marker, our stem, and our ending. Amabatas, stem, tense marker, ending. And amabant, stem, tense marker, ending. And in the future tense, I will love, we're going to add the tense marker bi between the stem and the endings. The only catch here is there's going to be some shifting of that I that will occur. Okay? The I is the majority, in the majority of persons and numbers, we're going to see that bi, but there are going to be situations where we don't, and it's best just to memorize these. So, and again, typo there, the future active indicative first conjugation, ama bo. Oh, there's our first exception. So that bi and the o, these have contracted to just become bo. Stem bi, the I is contracted out, and the o, not the m. Okay, so ama bo, ama, there's our tense marker, bis, you will love, stem, ama, bit, he, she, it will love. Ama bimus, tense marker, ending, we will love, ama bitus, bitus, tense marker, ending, and ama bunt. There you get another, instead of ama bint, which you might expect, this u takes over ama bunt. Alright, so this just must be memorized. Ama bo, ama bis, ama bit, ama bimus, ama bitus, ama bunt. And we could do this with any of the first conjugation verbs. So waka, woka bo, woka bis, woka bit, woka bimus, woka bitus, woka bunt. Right? And again, like I was saying earlier, these patterns are consistent. So all first conjugation verbs are going to look like this. So the keys to the first conjugation: memorize those endings. O or M, st, mus, tis, und. The O used in the present and future, the M used in the imperfect. Watch that infix. If there's no infix, it's present. If it's BA, it's imperfect. And if it's BI, or BO or BU, it's future. And then the key to really getting this is to practice. Write down numerous conjugations. Conjugate every verb you run into. The more you do it, the better you'll get.